Molweni manene na manene kazi, namkele kile kwinkubo, ndibulisa ngesiXhosa kuba ndiqinisekile ukuba abaninzi abasemonti abalandeli bomdlalo wamanqindi niza kubukela ngomso lwesihlanu ebusuku kwi-SABC umlo phakathi uKhanyile Bulana no Lunga Sitemela. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Druks Unboxing. I'm excited because there's some live boxing in Cape Town tomorrow night, Friday night, at the Vibrant Sports Studio in Ensland Road in Ottery. And for those of you who are not in Cape Town, it's going to be broadcast live on SABC2. The main event is, of course, Cape Town's only South African champion, Lunga, the pressure cooker, Sitemela, who will be defending his South African title against none other than the challenger from the Eastern Cape, Khanyile Bulana. Now, the fighters have sort of similar records. Lunga is 14 wins and against a single loss of 8 knockouts. Bulana, he has also only suffered one defeat, 12-1 with 8 knockouts. We've got Phela Mponshane, who's been defeated by Bulana already. We've got the former champion Sibusiso Zingange is on the bench with a shoulder injury after losing his title to Sitemela. And we've got Azinga Fuzile, who has moved up a division to the lightweights. So I think we can safely say that Bulana and Sitemela, as it stands, are the two best junior lightweights, or super featherweights if you will, the 130-pound division, available at the moment in South Africa. Now, Lunga Sitemela, he was South Africa's prospect of the year quite a long while back. He's 31 years old now. It is make or break time for him. He went overseas after all the COVID-induced inactivity, and he suffered his first loss against Muhammad Yakubov in Russia. And even though he lost, he was tough, he was gritty, he hung in there, he had his moments of success, and he lost a competitive decision. So that is what I would call a good loss. And in his next fight, he came back to South Africa. He challenged Sibusiso Zingange for the South African title. He didn't start so well. He looked a bit stiff and nervous. Zingange got the better of the earlier rounds. But as the rounds went by, Sitemela started clawing himself back into the fight. And he was coming on at the stage where the fight was stopped in the 10th round because Zingange suffered a dislocated shoulder. I still had Zingange up by 2 points. But Lunga was definitely coming on, and it's a pity about that shoulder injury. So we can say, in a sense, even though Lunga did the best he could, he took advantage of the situation and he got to win and the South African title. We can say that there's still an asterisk there. Lunga still has something to prove that he really does belong on that level. Now, Khanyile Bulana, on the other hand, his signature win was against the guy I mentioned, Phela Mponshane, in East London. I was ringside for that fight. He simply outboxed Mponshane for the IBF Africa junior lightweight title. And then he went overseas to Italy and he challenged the then undefeated Michael Magnesi for the IBO World Junior Lightweight title. And that didn't go so well for him. Magnesi sent him to the can with a right hook. He looked okay, Bulana, got on his knee. He looked at the referee and he got up at what he thought was a count of 9. The referee's count was all over the place. He seemed okay, but the referee just counted him out on his feet. So it was an unfortunate stoppage. Bulana should have been allowed to continue, in my opinion. But he got nailed there by Magnesi. Still, you can't take away that part of a fight. So he's coming off a loss, whereas Sitemela is coming off a win. Sitemela has fought this year, he got some good rounds in, whereas Khanyile Bulana hasn't fought since April of last year, so he's got more of a year's worth of inactivity to shake off. I think that's never good for a fighter, causes the cobwebs to set in, throws off the timing, and we have to ask, is that inactivity going to have an effect on Khanyile Bulana? Now, if we look at who they fought, I think it's more or less even. Sitemela took a big step up against Yakubov, as did Bulana against Magnesi. Bulana's got that win over Mponshane, and Lunga has got a better momentum. He did score a win against Sibusiso Zingange. Now, so they're more or less even in terms of experience level, even though Lunga has 2 more fights under his belt. So there's not too much of a difference there. before the Yakubov and Zingange fights, I would have said that Bulana has a better quality of opposition. But aside from Telo Ditebe, whom Bulana won the South African featherweight title from, Ditebe already had 8 losses. I think quality of opposition-wise, they're more or less even. Now, if I look at how Bulana acted against Magnesi, he was boxing from a distance. Magnesi closed the distance quickly, just walked into him, switched over, he sort of stepped over to the southpaw stance, and he started nailing Bulana with right hooks, and several of them. And the last one, as Bulana was moving backward, put him down, and that caused the stoppage. Now, Khanyile Bulana, he is a stand-up sort of boxer. He has a little bit of a lean in his body. His feet are a bit wide apart for my liking, but he is good when he's behind his jab. He's a jabber. He throws an up jab, he throws a straight jab, he doubles with it, he triples with it, he hooks off his jab. Everything for Khanyile Bulana works off the jab. So if he's in the center of the ring and if he's in that boxing mode at a distance, he's a hard guy to beat. That is how he beat Pila and Ponchane. And if Lunga Sitemela finds himself in the center of the ring at arm's length away from Khanyile Bulana, it's going to be a long, long night for him. Then I see Bulana winning this one on points quite easily if Lunga doesn't close a gap. But Lunga Sitemela, they call him the pressure cooker. That's a nickname that means something, because that's exactly what he is. He is a come forward, volume punching pressure fighter. He keeps on throwing punches, and that makes him an exciting fighter to watch. I've been at many of his fights ringside, and I like how he varies his attack. He goes head, body, body, head. He switches his punches from the body to the head all the time, and he's in your face, and he's pesky, and he's putting you under pressure all the time. On the downside, Lunga Sitemela, generally he's got a bit of a bob and weave. He's got his hands up. As he gets tired, sometimes the gloves come down, like happened there against Yakubov. So you can hit him. A guy that comes forward can be hit, most of him, you know. So he is hittable. His defense is solid, but you can hit him with a shot here and there. Question is, can Bulana hurt him? Bulana's got 8 knockouts in his 12 wins, so a slightly better percentage than Lunga Sitemela, but his knockouts didn't come on the top level. I mean, against Pela and Ponchane, he basically just boxed. He outboxed Ponchane. Now, Lunga is not the same fighter as Ponchane. Ponchane is a guy that gives you that space, that gives you a chance to outbox him, because Ponchane is a strong guy and he can punch a bit, but he tries to walk you onto shots, because Ponchane likes to fight for 30 seconds, 1 minute of each round. He's not like Lunga, who's busy for 3 minutes of every round. So I think for Khanyile Bulana, Ponchane sort of played in his hands. Now, Lunga Sitemela is going to go after him, he's going to be on him, he's going to be busy. It's going to be a lot more difficult for Khanyile Bulana to stand there at a distance and just outbox Lunga Sitemela. He's going to do a little bit more, and I think Khanyile Bulana, from what I've seen, he's not that great under pressure. Once you close the gap, and once you're here in front of him on his chest, that's not his best point on the inside fighting. He likes being there. Once you're here, he gets uncomfortable, and you can reach him over there. So for Lunga Sitemela, he knows only one way of fighting. That's the way he should fight. He needs to get past that jab and with a long right of Bulana as quickly as he can. He needs to stay in his chest and just outwork him. I think if Lunga can close the distance, he's a guy who's going to be outworking Bulana and winning the fight. If it is a long distance fight where they keep each other at the end of their punches, I can see Khanyile Bulana running out a winner. Now, one of the things that Khanyile Bulana does is if you throw punches at him, he sometimes avoids them by just jumping back. He doesn't go side to side. And I think that is a mistake that Lunga Sitemela can exploit, because, you know, Lunga, if he misses a few punches and Bulana jumps straight back, he does that skip straight back, straight line backward, Sitemela will play in his hands. He'll just come bob and weave and he'll come straight. He'll just keep walking after Bulana and punching. So Bulana's going to have to sidestep a little bit more when he's under the pressure that Sitemela will put him under. Who is going to win? for me, it's another one of those pick 'em fights. I might be a bit biased because I stay in the Cape Town area, and I would like for us to have a South African champion. We've had John Roux having the heavyweight title briefly, and when he lost it to Josh Pretorius. So the belts don't seem to stay long here in Cape Town. I would like this one to stay a little longer. How will Bulana handle the loss to Magnesi in the inactivity? Those are the questions. And can Lunga Sitemela handle the next level where he's now on the South African sort of level? Can he stay at that level? Does he have what it takes to establish him at that level so he can perhaps go on to international things? Those are the questions we need answering, and I think it's a very good style matchup. I think the pressure of Sitemela and the busyness versus the smoother boxing skills of Bulana will blend well. And I just think, quality of opposition is almost equal. I think when they went overseas and the spotlight were on them, Sitemela did better against Yakubov than Bulana did against Magnesi. One can argue this one is better than the opponents, but I just think Lunga handled it a bit better when he was on that stage. And so I'm going to go with my gut feel and say Lunga Sitemela is going to win a decision. Remember, he's got home ground advantage. Not that I'm saying he's going to need home cooking, but I think he's busier. He will put Khanyile Bulana under a different type of pressure than a guy like Pela and Ponchane could. He may not have a power of a Michael Magnesi, but I think he'll take something from that fight that lasted all of around. And I think he will get on the inside. And I think once he's on the inside, he'll get the better of things against Khanyile Bulana, who I expect to also have his success at long range. We'll see in the first few rounds who's the ring general. But I think it will be competitive. I think both will have their moments. But I think it's going to be a 2-3 point fight. And I think Lunga Sitemela is going to run out the winner and retain his South African title. I think all you guys in Monty, I can see in the comments beneath my Facebook post, you all are confident that Khanyile Bulana will go home to East London as a new champion. Might be possible. We'll have to see. That's why we watch the fights. So you guys in East London and the rest of the country, please tune into SABC2 on Friday evening. Doors open there at the Vibrant Sports Studio at around 6:30, and there's a few amateur fights first. So I think check your TV guide around 7:30 to 8 o'clock for the fights to start. Also on the ball will be 6-0 flyweight prospect Daniel Pontac, will be fighting for, I believe, a WBF Africa belt. And I think it's going to be a good evening of boxing. So if you are in the Cape Town area and you haven't yet gotten your tickets, go to www.quicket.co.za or just phone the promoter Jack Bryce directly or email him. I've made another video where I talk to Jack Bryce. All the details is in the description underneath that video. So I hope to see all of you there Friday night at the fight, and the rest of you on TV. And until we see each other again, please remember to give the video a thumbs up and give the channel a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps to grow the channel. And until we see each other again, remember to keep those hands up.